E107. Welcome. We're working on the rail project here on the server again. So these here are the things where the engine, like the train will come in, engine will be sorted out here, caboose will be sorted out here, and then everything else goes down. So we're building the rest of, I think, the down part today. So let's change our perspective over here. So what we want to do is we're going to start with this part of it. I'm confused by your messages. I feel like you're a Turing test. I feel like, okay, all right. That was funny in my head. Anyway, okay, so this one comes down there, and then so if you see, yeah, picture in picture. So this is, we're building this thing here first. It gets a little spaghetti in here, but so it's gonna go. What's the easiest way? You should go down to the next level down, I think. Oh, I went too far. So we'll go down to the dirt level, and I think that'll be low enough to be able to build some of the structures. But we're sort of building this thing from the top down. I wish there was a faster way up. But we're going to put in the blocks as we go. So let's get up here and over to the side. Okay, so this is that corner there. So we want to have 1, 2, 3 as a down step. So 1, 2 actually aren't low enough. Here we could do there. So that's that, and then it comes out to there, and then turns around that direction. Is that really that small of a space? Yeah, I guess it is. Okay. So then that will continue that direction. So let's get over there. For now, we will just build a little bridge over. This is going to be... Thank you for the host, PT Bar Pun. There we go, I said it right this time. Welcome to the stream. Help! Yeah, it's good. It's good. I just did a little unboxing. I got Game of Thrones, not Loot Crate. It was a Culture Fly. So I just did a little unboxing of that. It was pretty cool. Got some neat things I'll probably never use, except for the shirt, I guess. Who's building with you? I haven't been following this build. So this one is just me. This is, so on this server I have a big smart rail system. This particular one I'm looking at is the survival world. And then over here in the picture-in-picture, this is the creative world sort of template. And so all of this craziness, and then a bunch more as we go lower down. All the stuff down here, and so on. And then in here, this is all so that when you're up top, inside the structure, you can say, I want to click a button, and you say, I want to go to this particular station. A minecart will pop in over here with some items inside of it saying, and that's sort of programmed for where you want to go. So as you're leaving, it'll pick your destinations properly. And so you're inside this cart. That one tells the whole thing where to go. This thing tells the train, this is the end of the train. So these all launch in sequence. And then you'll get to intersections, and then because of the engine, it'll know you want to go left or you want to go right or whatever. And so then you'll be able to, I want to eat in this one. I was trying to figure out how to eat in the creative world. And so then you're able to get your destination. Once you get there, then some of this mechanism stuff that we're building right now is once the train arrives, it kicks you out, and then it sort of sorts out the train. So engines and cabooses go a certain way, and then if you have any chest minecarts with items inside of it, then it will send that up to the top, meaning like you sent, because you can have chest minecarts with like, you know, a bunch of wood or, you know, cobblestone or whatever you're transporting. And so you can use this to deliver a train of stuff, and then it sort of sorts out your stuff, sorts out the carts. So we're building the mechanism for that right now. That's the long, very fast talk version of what we're working on. So this next part here, so this here, probably it's picture in picture, so it's a little smaller, but so the train arrives from the top, comes down here. This is going to sort out. So this is a regular sort of sorting thing that you often see, but at the same time, it also triggers this. So if it receives a engine token, meaning this is the engine, it will, so the first cart, it'll send it through this way, and then this immediately changes back. Then if it has like a boost token, it'll move over here. So they kind of go over here, and then they're going to go down there and be emptied out later on. Meanwhile, the other things that are remaining are chest minecarts with items, chest minecarts with no items, and then regular minecarts. So that's what we're working on sorting out. I still feel like you're a Turing test. Ideally, if you could make sense, you're welcome. You're welcome to be here, if that's the case. So we're gonna have, this is the hopper that we're looking at. Let's change let's angle this slightly up so we can see a little bit better what we're working on. And I can't quite. Oh, for now we'll just build this part. So this is the hopper, and then we have one extra here, and then here is where it's actually also going to angle this direction. Let's slide in here. So I'm going to make this long part first. So 1, 2, 3, 4 across. I guess 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it angles this way. I think with the counter, then it goes like that also. So it'll angle like this. So we have, we're gonna have powered rail on. Now I don't have it here for some reason. I wonder why. There's probably some reason with like the redstone how it moves through. So no powered rail here. So we put that one in. And then this is going to be the hopper. Do we have hoppers on us? We do. It needs to point down. So we'll need to... so for now, I'll just leave it, with nothing on top of it. And then we do... Oh no, I fell. So 1, 2, 3. So including that one, 1, 2, 3. And then over here, we're building. So this is the first thing we're going to build, this little thing up here. So we're going to have unpowered rail here and here. And then there's going to be a hopper here that's going to be pointing down. So for now, I will put no rail on top of that. And then this guy goes here. This one is going to come over to. So we're going to have to get a little lower still. So I have to build another platform just so we can get lower down. That comes out here. So we have that, these two, and then a regular one here. It comes over. And I'll explain what this is doing in a second. But and then we need to get lower down. So let's see what our options are for doing that. Okay, so we're lower down. What we're going to do is build a little platform just so I can get around. Let's change our point of view. So the actual main part of it just goes all the way down, and it runs over to, it goes down to that, and then goes back up. Okay. So we're going to start angling down here. And I guess I need to see how many downs it does. So when it's directly in line with this path is where the bottom part of it is. So we can go down a little some more than we are right now, actually. So let's make a platform so we can get lower down. So it's a lot easier to build in creative, is the lesson here. So here, we're actually okay there. So we're torches also because we don't have mobs this fun. But so here is where it's going to do the 3 regulars. So 1, 2, and then 3, and then it starts angling back up at this point. So there, and then does it go all the way over to? Yeah, it goes all the way over to the wall and then turns around. So it's going to go. This can slope to there, and then it's going to turn around and then go up. But for now, we'll leave that as is. So this is powered rail here. But then this part is all sloping downward, so it doesn't actually have to be powered rail. Like that. Okay. And we're all out of regular rail. I'll have to go grab some more from downstairs in a second. Alright. So now, we're going to build the rest of the redstone for this. Then I'll explain. I'll explain as I go. But so the first part is this. So we're going to build it from the bottom upward. So here, there's going to be a hopper that faces so away from the ladder. So when you're building this, because some people are using this as a tutorial. So away from the ladder on this side of it. So you target the edge of that, and you want this hopper to point into that block there. Then you're going to put a chest. Good, I have chests. Put a chest on top. And then there's going to be, this is the block where I did not put the rail on top of it. No. Why is this wrong? I have it on the wrong side. Okay, let's start over. So remove this. And this guy. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to, on the side that's next to the ladder, we're going to put a target the side, like that. Hello! So we're going to put it there, chest on top. I break this. So this is the one that actually doesn't have the rail on top. So then we want a hopper pointing into that block. What this does, I mean, one, it saves you some iron, but it actually slows down the item moving through a little bit. And so then we're able to read that signal. So we're going to have a block on this side. So let's change our point of view. To go like this. So what we have is we're going to have these blocks coming out this direction, a comparator here. So this is detecting if something actually passes through that or not. And it's not a sorter, so it's going to grab any item inside of a hopper minecart. We'll grab that and bring it down. And then it's going to be a really weak signal, so we want to make it a full signal. Then that comes around the side and then goes over to a block over there, which actually has a torch on the other side, because we want to make this thing default to going that direction. So we're going to come up here, and so we have one more. We need redstone on our bar, like that. It drops down one, which we can't get to quite from here, so we'll have to pop down. And actually, just so we can save on blocks, we remove the insides of these because the rail's on top of these, so we don't. Oh, and that stuff over there I'll leave right now. So this one is that. So we're gonna go here. Let's go ahead and grab the one we don't need. So the redstone line comes there, and then let's get over to it. So it goes. Oh, can't really get up there, I guess. So it goes this direction, one there, one more. So this particular project is very technical compared to like my I also build castles and stuff, so it's very technical compared to that. So this is gonna come over to. Are we all out of those? No, we have some more still. Okay. So it's gonna come all the way over, and then this is the thing I broke on accident. This is the intersection. So we're gonna have a block here and a torch on that, and then the redstone comes this direction. For now, I'll leave these this stuff here just so I can get around. But now what we want to see is by default. So this is gonna be here. By default, we want that intersection to go straight. So when you're building this, depending on the orientation of everything you have, depending on how you built this structure, this may or may not default to this way. So right now it's defaulting to this. Technically it's actually defaulting to the opposite, but we're powering that with this. So if that's the case, this is a good lesson. So what we want to do is we need to reverse the signal but not create any extra delay or anything. So to do that, we're going to, instead of using this, we're going to put a regular block here and a torch. And then lower this down by one. There we go. So what this does is it's the same amount of delay because we had a repeater there before. And that was mainly just to increase the strength of what the signal is here. So now instead we have this, which is a torch. So we're adding the opposite effect inside the logic. And if you see now, the default behavior is that trains will keep on going. So what this does is when an item is absorbed through there, there's a brief signal that travels through there and goes around, and then we'll change the intersection here, which sends the cart that just dropped off the item will go down here. These aren't powered yet. So once these are powered, our powered rails, we'll come along here, pass by this, and it'll grab the item that dropped off back. So if you look, there's no items. And we come up here. And so a chest minecart comes down, if it actually has an item. Oh, that didn't work. So if it actually has an item, watch the intersection. It changes briefly for that cart to be diverted down. And then the item that it had dropped off gets picked back up right here. So it drops off an item to indicate that it is a chest minecart with items, but then immediately gets the item back as it heads back up. So it goes around here, down, and then that will eventually loop all the way around. So if we look here, so that goes down around this thing. Trust me, so then it comes up here and then heads all the way up to the top of the whole build. So let's build. I'll leave that part off for now, and I'll come back to that part just because it makes the whole area very compact and hard to look at. So the next one we have is a little bit similar, but a little bit more tricky to it. A little bit of extra, and I guess we can power some of these rails. So I chose to have this on the side. So on the side of the block, and then a lever right here. So that's going to power that and doesn't interfere with the rest of the redstone. And then how did I power that guy? Let's see, on top of the comparator, I chose to put a lever. So that so it's not powering that hopper, because if it did, that would cause problems. And then these guys, you can just, actually I can take out some of these blocks. So let's save a couple blocks. And then we can power the back of this, and that should be fairly safe. Okay. So that's all powered and good to go. So this next part, I'm going to need some droppers. I don't have any droppers on me. I think I do have cobblestone at the bottom. Let's go down there and grab that. Let me think about some of these extra blocks I have around. So what will I still need? Let's come over here and remove some of these blocks, because we're about to be at the bottom. So I can recover some of these. We're going to go ahead and remove these. We're going to have to rebuild a platform to get to the next spot, but it'll be easier if I am lower down anyway. So remove some of our scaffolding. And then this is a pretty good bottom part, so I guess we'll use this as the new scaffolding for this section. And then we'll go grab those items and make some droppers. So, do we already have droppers? Let's make sure we don't already have some. No, okay. So I'll make some droppers. Redstone droppers. And we only need 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. What else do we would need before we head up there? We're gonna need hoppers. We have plenty of hoppers already. I think we have everything else we need. So let's go ahead and head back up. Need a faster way up. So we'll build this one also from the bottom, kind of. Well, no, I guess some of it we'll have to build from this level first. So this rail comes through here, turns, and then it does also 3, and then loops around. So it's really 4. So 1, no, I'm sorry, this way. 1, 2, 3 power rail, and then the actual turnaround part goes there. We want regular also. Why didn't that work? Oh, I don't have any regular rail. I forgot. Shoot. Okay, I'll come back. I'll add in the regular rail later. Although we're going to have a bunch of it that we have to put in. But all right, now what I want to do is, I guess, get over to our scaffolding. Move our scaffolding closer so we can build down there. Oh, I almost fell. Okay. So that is there. Oh, it's really far up there. Build it a little ways over. And so we have, this is the slope. And I think it's going to be the same, roughly the same thing, although, so the flat part is also matching up there, but we're not angling back up like we did in the other one. So this one's actually going to send the stuff down. So what we're going to do is then go a little bit more so we can drop down. So then this is the flat part here. For now, we don't have any regular power or regular rails, so we're not going to worry about that. So now we have that part in. Let's take a look at it from the back. Hello. I should increase my font size. Welcome, Harv Cat. Welcome. So we're gonna have the block on the bottom like we did before. So that's gonna be actually on the other side. So let's switch over there. And then we'll go a little bit more out. So that is the mechanism that goes down. We'll want a block here, and then blocks that go around. And then we can sneak around here. And we're probably gonna have to do the reverse. So this is actually a great example of having to sort of reverse from the design in the picture-in-picture. So then this is gonna be a step down. Oops. So let's get on the same level so you can kind of see what's going on. And we can get up here. Change our picture-in-picture. Okay. So this is the sloping going down. So we're going to have a hopper there and then a comparator into that. This one I actually have it where I'm going to build it like in the picture-in-picture, but we're probably going to have to reverse it. So this is where that the repeater is going to be on top of that. And then we have redstone here. Interesting, I actually don't have it going this far down on this one. Huh, okay, never mind. Well, that's fine. So we're going to have that right here. Did I build something in the wrong spot? Probably. It happens. So if I follow the same design, this one goes here, and then this actually dips down underneath that. So I screwed something up. No, I guess I didn't. I don't need to make it that compact. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger in this version. So I'm going to have a, eventually this will be a hopper. Comparator reading off of it. And then we'll have redstone that goes this direction into a block on top of that, which powers the redstone right here. So redstone dust. Have that travel around. And go into that. So that one is where there's there's a redstone torch on the other side of that, I think, unless I didn't put it in. But there should be a redstone torch on the other side of that. For now, we're going to add this just so I can get around. Is there a redstone torch there? No. So we're going to add a redstone torch there. Just like that. So that hooks up to that redstone. So by default, they're going the wrong direction. So we actually need to change the opposite of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this to be a block and then redstone on top of that. So now the default behavior is that the train will keep on going. That's what we're looking for. We want this to make the train continue going on. So now what we need to do is build this bar. So this one's a little bit more complicated than the other one. So let's build it from the bottom up. So we're going to start with, I guess we'll have to start with the droppers. So there's this setup here. So level with that and over one more from, so if we come down here, this is the rail spot where the rail is going to be. Let's remove some of these extra blocks. So level with that, which I think is this too. Or are we one more lower? Let's see. No, yeah, so this is, so level with this is the bottom of the thing we're about to build. I do believe. Perhaps. Trying to get in there. It's very compact. So that floor is also the floor for this. Okay, yeah. Good. And then that's going to line up with the middle of this, if I am not mistaken. Yeah. So in this space, we're building that. So that's going to be here. Right here is the droppers. There's going to be 3 droppers. 1, 2, 3. And then that goes into a hopper that's facing into the thing. So we're targeting the edge of that rail to point that hopper into that. Put a block on top. And, or no, I guess it's the torch. We don't have to have it. Or no, I'm sorry, yeah, a furnace. We have a furnace on top because we want less lag. So break that, put a furnace down, and then put a torch on top of that, just so we don't have to worry about that. So that was the item I just dropped in there. So now that's the top of this. Now let's scoot down to the bottom. So we have then 2 hoppers that go from here over. So they're gonna go hoppers in our bar. We have a hopper facing into it. I'm doing something wrong. What am I doing wrong? Oh, I'm on the wrong side. So get rid of this. So on the thing where we're actually building it, there's going to be 2 hoppers that go this direction. Is there even space for that? Sort of. Yeah, I guess there's not much space, but technically there's space. Okay, great. So what we'll do is we'll scoot this way. So we're going to have a hopper facing into that, and then we'll come this direction, and then another hopper facing into that one. And then it comes this direction, so a hopper here, and then this is going to be the chest that slows down the signal just a little bit. And then this right here is what the comparator is listening to. So this is the hopper that's in the top. There we go. So, and then this guy, powered rail, I guess. So it comes along here, and then if it drops off an item, then this whole thing will change and send the cart down this direction. It doesn't pick up the item because the item is not part of that system. It's part of this whole closed system here. So if it's a chest minecart that has items, it'll drop one off here. This thing will change. It'll come back, grab the item, and leave. If it's a chest minecart with no items, it will have not been triggered there. This thing will give it an item. It'll get the dirt. It'll drop off the dirt, and then turn and then go down here. Meanwhile, the redstone we're about to put in sends the item back up to the top of that. So we're building this. And I believe, yeah, there's also some redstone over here too. So we'll build this part in first. So this thing is listening to this bottom dropper. There we go. Listening to the bottom dropper, which apparently has an item inside of it. So we'll grab it for now. And then we want to have a repeater here with 1 additional delay on it. We have that guy there with redstone on top, a block on top of this repeater, and a torch here. And then also, because we want it to be a clock, and when you're here, if you're on a repeater or a comparator, your shifting doesn't really work right, so just be careful. Pop over here, we have 3 redstone that run along this side. And then we need a block on top of this so that this part doesn't actually connect up. Okay. So what this does, let's actually grab the dirt that I had up there. So what this does is, if there are items inside of this, they're going to go up top. So it makes a little clock, and it's sending all the items up into the dropper, or the hopper. There we go. And they're sending them into this. So any items that that were dropped off on this rail move through here. It's also triggering, not triggering this. Oh, because it's a constant flow. Oh, and I also need to power this. So how do we power that rail where it doesn't blink? We added a lever. Where do we power that rail? So it looks like actually in this world, it's being powered because of the mismatch. So we need to power that rail through some other mechanism that won't interfere with other stuff. So if we add a block here, and then we power this block with a lever, then that won't cause a problem. So now it's powered. It's powered. It happens to be powered because of a redstone underneath here, but that shouldn't cause a problem because it doesn't doesn't power this other block, and so I think we're good. Yeah. Okay. So this thing now has stuff inside of it, and this redstone should be set up. So now if we were to take one of those items, and the minecart happens to pick it up, and then drop it off into here, this thing changes briefly, and then sends it over that direction. We can do the same thing we did there to power this rail. Put that on top, and then this will be, eventually, once I make more, it'll be a regular rail that goes down that direction. Okay, so that's in place. We have all that mechanism, and then we don't have the exit part of it yet, but we'll get to that. And then what happens is, it starts going up to that level. Oops. I got turned around. Here we go. So we're going to go like this, so we can see what there is to see. Okay. So we go here, and then we start stepping it up. So we can't. All right. I was hoping I could do it without having to add any extra blocks. So this is flat, angled up. So this starts stepping up to the wall. And then this can go one higher up to meet up with the top. And it's gonna be powered rail, not in the corner, but the rest of it is powered rail. This will eventually be a regular rail there, and then we go flat for all the way up to almost the corner. So it goes this direction to almost the corner, and then starts going up. So this is a turning one, so this can't be up. This one has to be flat, and then it works its way up there. And then if everything worked out right, this should match up right here. Aha. So then this is these guys. Put these guys in here. So turning rail eventually. And then this track, so what happens is if when the train arrives, if it's a caboose, or if it's an engine, it gets sorted out here. If it's if it's an engine, it gets sorted out here. If it's a caboose, it gets sorted out there. If it's a chest minecart with items currently in it, it gets sorted out here. If it's a chest minecart with no items, it gets sorted out here. What's left is just a minecart, passenger minecart for people to go into. So that will head up here, which we can power. So this will power both things. So eventually that'll be a regular rail. Heads up here, goes up here, turns around, and then eventually there's going to be a cactus right here, which will break it and then put it in to be available for future passenger cart requests. So these are going to be dispensers once I finish all that stuff. But that's how that rail gets all the way over here. Okay. So now, just to get everything settled, let's go down to the bottom and make our missing rail. We don't need a lot of these building blocks. Oh yeah. Also, this one here, just to prevent lag and some random items getting in there, we'll put an item on, put a furnace, or a dropper is actually better, maybe. No, I would do a furnace here just because it'll be triggered by some of this other stuff. So we don't want that to happen. Because there's power moving through here. So just make a furnace to prevent lag for that. And now, let's get over here. So we don't need blocks underneath those. We don't need a block here. We do need all those blocks. We don't need these blocks. And then we'll scoot over here. Don't need these. We need all of that. I don't think we need this. But we're going to be there in a second, so I won't worry about getting rid of that quite yet. Keep the catwalk here for now, because we might need to build some stuff later. So let's go make some powered rail, or regular rail, rather. Oops. Trying to eat my fish. All right, so I think I have a bunch of stuff in here. Let's see, and then we won't need. We have sticks already. Good. Let's make a bunch of those and these, and then we can make rail. Will that be in here? No. We'll do 2 stacks. Everything else we'll put away. So we'll go like this. Okay. Should be good. So we'll add in that rail that's up there, and then all that stuff should be good to go. So we've already done the sorting part. That's mainly what we've accomplished in this episode, or this stream. So we'll head up to, what layer do we want to be on? Let's go up to this top one here. So we'll add these where we didn't have enough. So that's fine. This is good to go. So this goes here, works its way down to here, and then it will continue on. So yeah, we don't need this stuff. Actually can go, and then this can go. So then eventually this will connect up to something else. But for now, we'll leave that kind of stopping there, and then we'll head up here and put that guy in and that guy. So that all lined up perfectly for all that. Just so we don't need lights to be able to have this, because this is all non-spawnable, but go ahead and light it up anyway. And then that one will light up. Everything is pretty well lit. Again, most of this is not spawnable spaces anyway, because redstone and rail aren't spawnable spots for mobs. All right, so let's see if there's anything. Let's finish off the this part here. So this is the thing we're looking at. The picture-in-picture is the chest mine carts that have no items inside of it. So it hits the bottom part here. So the angled, regular, and then here is the turning rail. I definitely need to have you take a look at your non-functioning auto wheat farm. Oh no, yeah, no problem at all. I'm big into redstone. So yeah, I sort of. What sort of works about the different servers I'm on is that in Monumenta, I'm sort of doing the dangerous, like trying to stay alive, combat stuff. And then in the TeamBS Minecraft server, I'm working on building a big castle and like a pretty village and all this stuff. And then here, I'm building this like really complicated rail network thing. So I'm able to sort of have different stuff in each of these different builds. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, yeah, five of them, and then the turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the turn goes this direction. And so it's going to line up with that hole there. So we probably want to be one less than this. So we want turning rail, powered rail. So we're also running low on powered rail. We'll have to grab some more of those. This one we'll just leave a regular rail. This we can power from the side. It's pretty dangling in the middle of nowhere. And then this will go all the way down to be that stack there. So eventually, for now, I won't worry about building the whole stack, but eventually that whole thing will come up here so that chest minecarts that have no items, that are empty, will be brought onto this stack, and it have a huge, long, you know, big tall stack of them to be able to be requested and then put back into the system. Because you can't turn them into items. They have to, you know, if you break them on a cactus, they separate, the chest and the minecart. So we need to keep them in the world physically there. It's kind of silly. Maybe they'll change this someday. Probably not. And then we have a little bit of time to do a little bit more with. So this part here is another part of the let's see. So we want to line that up with. So this will have a block. Are we out of blocks? No, we have blocks still. Okay. So this dirt can go for now. This goes over to the wall, like so. And then, so this is just the scaffolding. We can get rid of it. So then it goes 2 blocks and starts angling downward. And where this actually goes exactly doesn't matter as much, I don't think. No, I better keep it, I guess. We'll keep it as is. So then it angles down, and does. So it's going to be sort of angled, and then flat. So here is where it loops around. So this one is actually going to be all of this furnace hopper madness. So we'll come back to that. I guess I can. No, it'll be easier if I don't put in the furnaces. I could put in furnaces there, but it'll be easier if I don't. So for now, this will come up here. Powered rail. So we want to power all of this. So the easiest way, I guess I put in those 2 there. Yeah, we better do that because there's hoppers above me I forgot about. So we're gonna do powered rail, and then that guy there. Okay, and then we can hook in the rest of this stuff too. So that is gonna hook into all of this. So let's build that in. So what happens is when in a little bit we'll build that part, but eventually, what is it? Engines and cabooses that were sorted out have dropped in an item inside of these hoppers over here, but we don't want to lose those items in the process. So as they drop down, they land here, and then they ride underneath these that will be collecting those items. So if we now put a furnace on top of that just to help prevent lag, because again, so if you're not familiar, hoppers by themselves will prevent or cause lag because it listens to whatever's above it to try to see, you know, can I pull an item through? Can I pull an item through? So if we just have a regular block, it's still listening. If there's a furnace on top, there's less lag because the furnace is the one that's actually telling it that grab an item. So the hopper doesn't listen if the furnace is here, and the furnace doesn't actively tell it information. So there's less stuff it has to think about. Dropper is a little bit less laggy, but it also interacts with redstone. So if you have redstone running around, you have to worry about that. So I usually do furnaces. So they'll head underneath that. Let's get a little bit higher up so we can build some scaffolding on our way up. So to build this thing, we're going to have the whole line there. So it's going to go all the way over to the far one we made. So this one, yeah, points into that. Good. So we're going to have 5 of those total, but we're also it's going to be obvious in a second where it's going to connect up. So it's going to connect into that. So that, yeah, I'm sorry. It's going to connect into the thing we're about to put in. So we're going to put these guys in right here, going up to that. So the hopper, so as it moves items down, they travel through here. We want furnaces here to prevent lag. And then we're going to have problems getting around, but then what happens next is there's going to be also some furnaces, or hopper there, hopper here, hopper on top of that. So for now, we'll put in this furnace. We'll figure out how to get out of here without falling all the way down. Ender pearls is the answer. So what do I have against that back wall? Let's go here. And that might get me somewhere I need. Oh, actually, let's just do this. We'll go right there. There we go. Okay. to make sure there wasn't an endermite. So we want a hopper on top of that. So get rid of those. Hopper on top of this block, pointing down. So as this thing sorts out items, it'll drop them off and then move them into here. Oh, in fact, we should probably, we can't quite angle and get there, but we want a torch here just because that's spawnable spaces. Top of the furnaces are spawnable. So we'll put torches in those. There we go. So what happens is that the engine and caboose, they deliver an item, and then those items are going to be sorted down and then end up in these two hoppers here. So I have 2 of them there just in case there's enough overflow, and it'll grab up to 2 items as it passes through. So I'll come up top, and we'll hook in this top part before we end up the stream. So we want to angle ourselves here. So it goes to, it's going to be dropped down there. So we want it to go down 1 block from here. So what's the easiest way to get a block there? There we go. So now this is going to be regular rail. There we go. Regular rail. So the engine gets sorted out here. Caboose gets sorted out here. They all run down here. They run into this. So I guess actually we want a solid wall to make sure that they run into it and they just drop straight down. So they'll run into here. They drop down here. This is powered rail against the block, so they'll keep on going. They'll grab whatever items happen to be inside of those, and then move down to get emptied out at the bottom. There we go. So we built the arriving train sorting system in the Port Hypermine North rail station. There you go. Oh, yeah. Sorry. From a distance, that looked like it was it wasn't hooked into anything, but it's actually in this hopper. And this one already has some items, so that'll help for that sorting. And I think everything else is set, ready to go. I didn't forget anything. We have some scaffolding that we can take out later on. But for now, it's not really against everything, so it's kind of okay. This one is handy to get onto that section there. And then this, we're going to build in more later. So we can actually take this bottom part out. Take this out. And then this will be a return path that we will build another time. We're not going to build that right now, but eventually this will be another path that goes up and connects up to a rail that we built up there. But we'll do that. We'll do that next time. This doesn't need to be here. We'll get rid of that, and probably the dirt under here. There we go. That right there is important to be there. I guess it's a spawnable spot, but I don't think anything would spawn there, just the 1 block. Because baby zombies, I think, still need a 2 high block to spawn, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll cover it. We'll fill it in, I guess. Okay, so that's the end of the stream. I hope you enjoyed watching. Hopefully, if you're trying to build this on another server, hopefully that made sense. Where I was able to build it and see that based on the default behavior of that turning track, I was able to adjust the signal to be the opposite if I need to. Hopefully that makes sense.